salutations, and more. Salutations. Welcome to another installment of your favorite show, the Dale Ryan Report. I am Ryan Humer, and
I'm about Dale Time. And what is on the chopping board today? It's crazy. I was gonna wear my merch as well.
No, you wasn't, dog.
I promise. I wasn't, bro. I was like about to wear my merch, but then I was like, knowing Ryan, if I put on my merch, he's gonna wear his merch, and I want you to shine today.
Just copy my style, bro. Like, you do shit like, you know, I was about to do that just to like inadvertently copy my style. Like, who does that? Like, you know, I was gonna invent feelers, but feel me, changed my mind. But yeah, hey, man, we got
like the worst invention.
feelers, bro. Like,
nah, feelers go hard.
I mean,
like
they work really hard. They work really hard to get where they at.
And he's like, you might as well just have been in K-Swiss.
Bro, don't say nothing bad about K-Swiss, dog. That's high level disrespect.
You have a pair of K-Swiss.
Right now, I don't, but I went through 700 of them between 6th grade and 8th grade. Between 6th grade and 8th grade, I went through 68 pairs of K-Swiss.
If you lived in the 90s and you are from the Bay Area, you for sure definitely had at least 12 pair of K-Swiss. Because that's all that motherfuckers had at a point in life. Like us Chucks, we was doing K-Swiss.
I feel like some people that had like a lot of J's, they didn't have K-Swiss. Like, I feel like there was like a distinctive group of some of us that had K-Swiss, because like parents wasn't, contrary to popular belief, like all black parents was not buying niggas J's. It wasn't happening. Like, I didn't get my first pair of Jordans until I worked at that shit. Like, all I had was hella K-Swiss and shell toes, like straight up. But
I didn't have Jordans until I got my own fucking job.
Right. That was not fucking with me. But look, hey, this is what we got for them, man. We're gonna just talk about some of the madness in 2023 already, man. We're gonna talk about a white QB said the N-word, and somehow that caused him to get a scholarship at a HBCU. So, you know, we're gonna try to figure out what that's about. Also, we got a 29-year-old that decided to pose as a freshman so she can go back to high school. Why? We do not have any idea. We're going to figure it out and give you all a little bit of speculation. Also, the mayor of Cincinnati has a bunch of smoke for Patrick Holmes because Joe Burrow is the Burrow guy. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about 49ers versus Eagles. And I'm going to ask a very important question to fellow Niner fans and some of y'all that may not be Niner fans. I'm going to ask a very important question. But before we get into all that, bro, I want to just talk about, bro, like we at the end of January, 2023 been mad wild, B. Like, we had a wild storm. We had back-to-back mass shootings, a Wiener Schnitzel. They got a shrimp sandwich. And Shannon Sharpe trying to fight at the games. Like, bro, it's a wild, B.
Wait, Wiener Schnitzel got a shrimp sandwich?
Yeah, Wiener Schnitzel got a shrimp.
That's how you know the world is going to hell. Listen, Wiener Schnitzel, bro. If y'all eating Wiener Schnitzel shrimp sandwiches, y'all know y'all wrong. I'm gonna just tell y'all.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that if you somebody that frequents the Schnitzel and like you tired of Schnitzel, and maybe you've never had shrimp before, because it's those people, right? There's these people in the streets that be like, I'm allergic to seafood. I can't eat no seafood. I can't eat any seafood. I'm allergic.
Fuck up some gumbo.
Right. And they not even really allergic, right? They just scared of water foods. But if you somebody that rock with the Schnitzel, maybe you trust the Schnitzel. Maybe you trust the Schnitzel more than I trust the Schnitzel. So if the Schnitzel's like, hey, bro, we got shrimp for you, maybe at that point you'll open up your palate a little bit and eat some shrimp. Then we got your Uncle Shannon Sharpe trying to fight people at the games and then giving out like Will Smith, Draymond Green level apologies.
Come on. This apology. I'm gonna wait. I know we're gonna have a whole segment tuned in for that, but I can't fucking wait to get on this Shannon Sharpe shit, because this man.
I mean, that's just part of 2023, man. I mean, you can go ahead and give me your thoughts. It sounds a lot like it sounds a lot like the Will Smith, the Draymond Green apology. Like, you know, you do the thing to disrespect somebody, and then you apologize to everybody and their mama. Like, Will Smith was like, I want to apologize to Questlove. I want to apologize to Questlove's afro. I want to apologize to Questlove's afro pick. And then you got Draymond, like, I want to apologize to the Bay Area. I apologize to the Bay Bridge. I want to apologize to the ghost of Mac Dre. And Shannon Sharpe out here, like, I want to apologize to the ghost of Kobe. I want to apologize to Vanessa Bryant. I want to apologize to Shaquille O'Neal's big toe. Like, bro, like, just apologize to. But I will say this: the difference between Shannon Sharpe is like I'm gonna apologize to everybody. Apology is because like it involved everybody. So I get it. Like I understand his. I'm gonna apologize to Jeff Bezos, Amazon.com, because he was delivering a package to somebody's house while I was fighting. That person missed their delivery. I understand the whole group apology for Shannon, but Will Smith and Draymond, you can't assault no man and then apologize to your niece, nigga. Like
to your niece. like little baby, I just want to let you know, Uncle apologize, you know what I'm saying, bottom of his heart, you know what I'm saying. In the future, I don't want you to see this and look back on this video and think your uncle was a bad person. Just understand, this is from the bottom of my heart. Like, how is your apology more sincere to nobody than motherfuckers who had nothing to do with it? It's way more sincere and more dedicated to the motherfuckers who had nothing to do with it. He did, and what I will say about Shannon Sharpe's apology is this though. He did take accountability though. And I appreciate that, because it wasn't like most people, they'll be really evasive with the accountability. But for him, he was very like 10 toes down. Hey, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm not gonna say that wasn't me, because that was me all day. But that was me mad. And that really, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that shit. Somebody say something. Look, I ain't gonna say it wasn't me. I ain't gonna say it wasn't me that was cussing out customers on the phone, but that was me mad. Like,
that's always you though. So that's not gonna work.
Nah.
No one's gonna believe you.
Into the conversation on ganging them. Like,
basically, like he'd be like, "That's not me," but bro uploads posts of himself like rolling his blunts, wearing J's, and drinking heme all day. Like, bro, like if that's how you act at the game, I hate to like watch the game with you, man. Like I hate that. But you're right though. To his point, and that's why I understand. I understand like the whole facet of apologies, like the facet. It's like it's almost like when you give an Oscar speech. If you go up there, you can go up there and thank God and then leave. But if you thank anyone else after God, you got to thank everybody. You got to thank that's why people be like, whoever I forgot, love you too. Because, bro, I can't thank my stylist without thanking my loctician. I can't thank my loctician without like thanking my run coach. Like I can't thank my run coach without thanking my logo guy. You know what I mean? It's just so hey, all of y'all bless up, appreciate it. So that's why you're gonna go up and be like, I thank God, and then walk off like Lil Baby did. That's all you could do.
To God, anything is good. And then you get off.
And then walk off. That's all you could do, man. That's all. So
that's how you gotta start apologizing though. You know what? I apologize to God. Just get on there and just immediately. Look, I'm sorry God had to see me act like that. And that's it. That's it. You ain't gotta. Matter of fact, that's how I'm going down from now on. Okay, look, man, I'll apologize to God on everything I love. Because, man, that was wrong. God shouldn't have to see me slap the shit out of you.
That's, you know what? That's a pretty good apology. You're right. You just apologize to God. Like, yo, God. They be like, you want to apologize to the lady you ran over with your Jeep? I apologize to God, bro. God built the Jeep. God built the lady. So that's the only person. Are you telling me that the apology to God doesn't matter?
Right, because that's the biggest apology. That's the only way you're going to get in heaven. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in that, that's the only way you're getting there, is if you apologize to God. God don't care about you apologizing to nobody else, but as long as you ask him for repentance, he will allow you to be set free. That's my understanding of the Bible. But
it's the most manipulative thing ever. If you just apologize to God. I remember I was in the security class to get my guard card. And one of the exercises was for us to understand, I guess, like a security situation, understand like a terrorist attack. We had to like plan a terrorist attack, like at like different tables. And this one OG said, I would just do like a suicide bombing. And then when I go to heaven, before I did it, I would just repent so I could still get into heaven. When this religious debate about it, I was like, is that how that works? He's like, yeah. I'm like, but you openly know but you already know that you fitting to like repent it. You can't like, you can't.
You wrote that in your plan.
You can't be ready. He's like, no, all you gotta do is say you're sorry. I'm like, bro, like, but you can't plan to do that. Like, you can't be like, I'm gonna do this mass shooting, and then after that, it's good. It's on Lord. Like, you can't do that. Like, but this was like 2017. We had this debate just back and forth, bro. He's like, no, that's how I'm a Christian. I was like, I know, I get it. I'm a Christian. Everyone is. But that's not the way. He's like, no, because God said. I'm like, bro, and this is in garden party class, but I guess it's how it works, man. All you got to do, as you said, say sorry, and just know you're gonna say sorry, and then you get into the gates.
You be right there. He'll be right there, like, man, you made it just in time. If you like right before that bomb was about to go off, if you didn't say, oh, God, I'm sorry, you had to say God. You got to say God. I'm sorry, not Jesus, not Mary. You got to say God, not Joseph, not Jacob, none of them. You got to say God. I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous. Man, listen, we had an interesting situation that popped off. I mean, speaking of like repenting for your mistakes and moving forward in acceptance, we have a very interesting non-repenting, accepting mistakes, moving forward story for that ass. Mm-hmm. A QB that was highly sought after was given a scholarship by several different schools. I'm guessing I haven't been able to find his ranking, but I'm guessing he's really good. And it surfaced in November. Well, not in November. In November, he was found. And remember, he filmed himself on IG Live, doing some repeating some rap lyrics, singing on IG Live like we all do. I mean, I usually lip sync, but he said it out loud. He's like, well, I don't even know what the song is, but it's like, I'm back, nigga. Mm-hmm. And people didn't like it. So he lost his scholarship. People were pissed off or whatnot. And of course, people were pissed off per usual. What ended up happening was he ended up receiving a scholarship to an all-Black college. Mm-hmm. Like, so
that's
I know there's been a situation going on where like HSBCUs have had a little bit of polarization since like Coach Prime, aka Deion Sanders, was around, and then they just got rid of Ed Reed. He wasn't around, and now we got Marcus Stokes being criticized using the N-word and going to HSBCU. There's two schools of thought on this. One school of thought, as one reporter posted, he said, yo, if you use the N-word, what better of a place for him to go than the HBCU to go learn about the culture? You know what I mean? That's all we asked for, people to be accepted anyway. You know what I mean? But another school of thought is like, this is just a ploy for him to get into a HBCU. And if HBCUs accept him, then the other white colleges could be like, oh, well, if Black people said it's okay, then it's okay. Then it's okay here, which means that he may just go there for a year and then transfer. Either way, HBCU is getting publicity. Exactly. I want your opinion on this, Del, before I go ahead and let you know how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm in agreement with the gentleman that you mentioned that had the belief that this is a good thing. Here's the thing. If you say anything derogatory towards a Jewish person, if you say anything derogatory towards anyone a part of the LGBT community, you have to go through these particular courses or these particular steps in order for you to be able to be forgiven, or even to be, be in back in good graces. We see it happen with any major entertainer, any major figure that in this current society. If they say anything negative, then the lesson is, especially towards the people of color, if a person of color says anything derogatory towards anyone, the main thing they have to do is they got to go down, they got to go to Israel, they got to kiss the Pope. They got to do all of these things.
The Pope in Israel.
There's so many steps. He doesn't even Israel. He's not even the Pope. Not even a part of Israel. That's Catholic. That's Catholic. But I'm just saying, like in general, like you got to do so much, like just to basically get back in the good graces of the world, right?
Right.
And I think in two ways, this shows something on both behalves. It shows the problem of like, hey, let's get you educated so you understand why this word is derogatory and why you, a more light-skinned person saying this is offensive. Go to a black college. Let's see how you feel about that. Because yeah, maybe at that high school that you're at right now, you're a goat. Probably your other little black kids that are there, those Oreo motherfuckers, they okay with you saying nigga. They allow you to say it. They probably was the one promoting you to say it. They probably was in the car like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it's good.
It was cheering.
Look at my QB saying nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I can see that happening. I see it happen all the time, so I see that we allow it, like a person from a certain area or a person that has a certain status, we'll allow them to say certain words that we wouldn't normally allow the regular Joe Blow say. So for him to possibly end up at a HBCU, whether it is for a year or whether it becomes more, maybe this might change how he goes about the world. Not maybe, this will. Regardless of what's going to happen, if he ends up taking the acceptance and goes to the school, whether he stays there for a year, going forward, his perception of how Black people are will be significantly changed. Because a lot of times the idea, especially for a lot of these suburban kids, are these kids who don't come from any kind of poverty. And I'm not saying that he does, and I don't know his full background, but he could be Eminem for all I sure, directly from 8 Mile, for all I know. But I'm saying in the sense, though, it still needs some education on what's happening and why these things are offensive, especially these younger kids. Because a lot of times with the younger kids, they are not so much educated on the history on why this word is so derogatory. They just think every rapper say it. Diddy, 6ix9ine, Drake say it. Like Drake, Cole say it. I was listening to Cole. Matter of fact, I was in the car on my way to the funeral the other day, and I had my nephew in the back. And he's a Filipino young man, full Filipino. And we're in the car, and I'm just like, and he's only 8 years old. And I'm in the car, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna bump some Cole. Cole's good for everybody. In my mind, right? Had to learn. Cole ain't necessarily good for the children all the time. Because Cole in there saying nigga, bitches, this, that, this, even though his music is on a positive influence, he's saying nigga, like literally in one song, I think he said nigga like 13 times. I was like, shit, I gotta turn this off. You feel me? Because like this, he can't be hearing this. I got his dad in the car too. So it's like, he can't be hearing this shit. Like, I had to play some lo-fi. Like, just play lo-fi, because we don't want him to hear all that.
Just to play lo-fi.
It's instrumental, so he can.
That's everybody's default. Just put lo-fi.
Just put that shit on, because it ain't got no words. You ain't got to worry about nothing. It ain't got to say nothing, right? So I think it's going to be extremely educational for him. And if he does end up getting picked up by another school and later down goes to the next level, let's say, Albany all of a sudden wants him back, fine, go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? But the education that you got for that year of actually playing for that HBCU is gonna stand for a lifetime. Now, there is another part to this, which I'm sure you're gonna probably tap into. I can see your mind just mechanically working. So I think, what's gonna end up happening is it is a bad look in a way too, because what it does believe is like, well, Black people just accept it. See, they even told him, just come on, you one of us now, because it could be looked at. This particular thing could be looked at because there's no words being said that we're doing this so he can be fully educated. You have a reporter saying that, but no school is saying now, like, hey, come over here so you can be educated. So I do think on the perception, and from other white kids that are out there, like if I say the word nigga, they just going to set me into the community. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like if you say nigga now, you are now getting accepted by us. And I don't want that to be the lesson here. I think the lesson should be, you say nigga, let's get you educated so you can understand that. Because for so long, you hear so many up and coming white men and women who will say, well, that wasn't me. That was my ancestors. So why do I gotta be, ridiculed for the things that they did? So I think right now, these are those times for us to start educating you, start getting you right to understand that this word is not what you think it is. It's not a fun word. It's not anything that you want to go around just blatantly using as a white man. And now put you in somewhere in the South where, try to say that shit and see what's going to happen. Because you're going to be on there when that linebacker going to say, yeah, what's up, my nigga? What happened? We go fuck up on the white quarterback over here. You know what I'm saying? So I do think, this is going to be a lesson for him. And I hope he sees the value in this. And I do hope if he's really as good as he is, I hope maybe he does stay. Maybe this could be like one of those glory moments, and this becomes some kind of biography. White kid went to a black school, won the championship. I don't know. So we're gonna see.
I'm not even gonna actually gonna go a different way than what you thought I was gonna say. Okay. Let me tell you guys what he said, right? So this was his response. I was in my car listening to rap music, rapping along to the words, and posted a video of it on social media. I deeply apologize for the words in the song that I chose to say. It was hurtful and offensive to too many people, and I regret that. I fully accept the consequence for my actions, and I respect the University of Florida's decision to withdraw my scholarship offer to play football. My intention was never to hurt anybody, and I recognize that even when going along with the song, my words can still carry a lot of weight. I will strive to do better and to become the best version of myself, both on and off the field. I know that learning from my mistake is a first important step. His name is Marcus Stokes, by the way.
Marcus, you said Marcus?
His name is Marcus Stokes. Yeah.
He be black. I'm wrong.
Right. He might as. So here's my thing. So just within the parameters of the conversation, I think that if a HBCU decided to accept him, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think that for other schools to take their hands off of him and drop their offers, I think they did what America wants them to do. So when you say, oh, well, nobody talked about education, it's not mentioned that he's going to be reprogrammed. America did I'll say the media right thing is what they're supposed to do. The left wing thing, what they're supposed to do is take their hands off of them. Yo, we can't touch you because you said that. If you come here, it's gonna look like we accept that. And then we gonna have you on IG with these other white dudes saying that say it already, but they don't get caught. So for the HBCU to accept and say, nah, you can roam over here, it's all good. I honestly don't think a child, a literal child should lose his scholarship based on him saying music and person I'm saying words. So I don't have a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is I have a problem with as I like to call it, the recreational outrage over the situation. So inside of his apology, apology is real slick, right? Shannon Sharpe's apology was pretty slick too. In the beginning, Shannon Sharpe says, it doesn't matter what Dylan Brooks said or how many times he said it, right? The kid said, my intention was never to hurt anybody, and I recognize that even when going along with a song.
Right. That was very smart.
And in the beginning, he said, I was in my car listening to rap music, rapping along to the words, and posted a video of it on social media. I think that a lot of us post memes on social media, and they're not specifically what we mean. It's just, we just going along with the meme that we saw. It may reflect how you feel a little bit, but necessarily it's not what you hold yourself to. The part of the song you said, it wasn't I'm back, nigga. It's actually welcome back, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, this isn't a fun word to use. I don't know what song that is, but it sounds like an especially fun part of the song. I haven't heard the song, but it sounds like a great time to say that part of the song. So the thing, I think it's interesting when we say when we within this word, for our fans, longtime fans, me, Dale, and Township actually did a video on this a while ago. It's interesting for this word because what happens is there's situations where it's oh, this is the most evil word in the English language. And it's got these really interesting connotations depending on if you end it with a vowel or with the best letter in the English language, which is an R. And then we got the connotation, who can say it, who can't say it. Interestingly enough, we got 6'9" known snitch, running around, running amok, saying the N-word. We've never done anything to him just because it's accepted. So I find it really challenging in this day and age to even police that anymore. like among white people. There's an interview, if you guys get a chance to check out, if you get a chance, hop on YouTube and Google Easy E white people use N-word. And also Google Boozy white people N-word. And check their opinions on it and the responsibility they take as artists. I know that some of us Black people have people in our circles that aren't necessarily Black and they use that N-word, but the reason they do it is because if they grew up around us calling them that, it's only going to happen so much. It's only going to go along so much that they're not going to be saying it. I know Eminem is like a huge proponent of not saying it, but I would think Eminem growing up on 8 Mile, those D12 niggas always called him nigga. And nigga, you wildin'. Like, I think that the standard is almost too high of a, I think it's too high of a standard to hold people to. If you call someone something all the time, it's weird to not expect it to be used in common language. Like, you should never call your wife a bitch, right? If she called you bitch all the time, like she calls her friend bitch, and you slipped one time and called her bitch, it would still be wrong. Be like, well, like, this is in my vernacular, like, accidentally. Right. I also believe there's this part, Dale. I believe we've reached a level of Black excellence where this isn't important anymore. It's a great story from him, like, being a white dude on this thing, but we've said it over again. We are the culture. We're the culture vultures. People take things, so on and so forth. Like, we create ideas and people impersonate them, and then we dress a particular way and people impersonate them, and then we do our hair a certain way and people impersonate it, and we speak a particular way, and then people speak that way. We're 13.7% of the population. So if you're going to sell music to more than 13% of the population, the people that buy the music are gonna speak the lyrics. Like, that's what's gonna happen. So I believe that we're in a time that I think that we're strong enough as a people, like, we're strong enough to, like, let this shit go. And I get it. Like, if a white person comes in your place of business, you're just trying to bag your groceries at Food Max, and then, hey, nigga, hurry up! Like, whoa, what? Wait, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing? But as far as, like,
you gotta hit it with the dude. What are you doing, dude?
Like, what are you doing, dude?
You gotta immediately put on your white wetsuit. Like, you gotta immediately turn that on. Like immediately turn into Ryan. Not Ryan, but Ryan. Hey, what are we doing, dude? I gotta turn that on so that on the video it looks like I try to restrain myself. Like, I'm not like I'm not gang. So, like, if he's like, hurry up, nigga, I'm like, dude, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing, dude? And then when I go gang, it's like, he was really calm. He said, dude, he was super calm. That's true. They do.
But if he's like, hurry up, nigga, and then I'm like, fuck you say to me, nigga?
Or just
how stupid does that sound? Like, I've seen this happen 1,000 times where it's like a white person that says some shit, and then the person's like, what you say to me, nigga? Like, what is it? What is this? What are we doing? Now the video doesn't make any sense. Like, he called me the N-word. You got mad? Yeah. So why'd you call it back to him? Because I can say it, but he's not one. Yeah, but I said it because that's just how I talk. You said it around him? Yeah, but he can't say it to me. That's weird. So I think that we have there's a very interesting, complicated dichotomy for this word and for this like part of our lexicon. Not the N-word period, but nigga in music. And I know there's OGs like, it's the same thing. It's not. Sorry, I don't care what people say. It's not the same thing. That's it. But I think for this, it's like, hey, you went to school, that's cool. It's a song. Like, that's what IG's for. People say words and shit. Like, we, like, repeat lyrics on IG disrespecting women all day long. And it's like, cool. Not most of us don't think that way, but those are lyrics that we particularly repeat. That's just how it goes. So I say all to say, I'm fine with it. It's honestly to a point now. It's getting to a point now, bro, where, like, if you want to be a white dude and, like, say nigga and that makes you feel good, like, I don't think that when you look back on it, you're like, oh, y'all was the coolest motherfucker alive. I don't think people think that. Like, I got Asian homies. I got Asian homies and Mexican homies who used to say that a lot when we were younger. And as we got older, it's not even in their lexicon anymore because they feel stupid saying it. Like, you grow out of it once you realize, like, why am I saying that shit?
Yeah.
Like, why am I saying? Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing with you, but but to your point, I would say yes, you're 100% right. You grow out of it. It's like growing out of eating hot Cheetos. You know, you don't go at 30-something years old. You're not going to the store just let me get them hot Cheetos in a Red Bull now. I feel like that's the same way with language. A lot of times you grow out of certain things because, you know, when I was a child, I did childish things, and now as an adult, I do grown up things. So I do think that you're hitting the right points on what you're saying.
some shit we do and like sound like even the thing, even when I was young, like when I was younger, whenever niggas was talking, whenever we talking, anytime we talking about women, it's like bitches, nigga, hella bitches, mad bitches, 1,000 bitches, and now it's like, this just sounds so dumb. You just be like chicks or women or girls, but everything was just bitches. Oh, this one bitch, you know, there's so many bitches over there. Like, and it's like, bro, like you almost start to sound like silly, you know? So, I mean, I think that with that tape just going all over the place, eventually he's gonna be like, wow, I look so stupid. So I don't have a massive problem with it. I think that, you know, what's funny, bro, is that this isn't, I don't want to classify this as a whataboutism, but my thing has been whenever Black folks are involved in like certain things, I'd be like, man, like Black folks got more important problems than that. That's how I feel with certain things. So I'm gonna ask you a quick question. I'm not gonna go too far into this, but I'm gonna ask you a quick question. Do you know who Justin Smith, Emmett Martin, Desmond Mills, Demetrius Haley, and Tadarius Bean are?
Are those the officers who beat up the guy? Who beat up the
Yeah. Those are the five Black officers that beat Tyree Nichols to death.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anywhere at all that like this HBCU thing is getting just as much like attention as this. I'm not saying it. I'm saying if the N-word pursuit, if that's your crusade and police things aren't your crusade, I get it. That's why whataboutism don't work, because everybody got their own crusade. Everybody got what they're good at. You know, that's why I'm like, what about this? Well, nigga, I don't know anything about that. So I get it. I'm just saying collectively, like Black folks, we got more important things to worry about. I'm glad that like HBCUs is getting talked about the last 3 years. That's cool. I didn't know Albany State was an HBCU. I know I did. Now I can name 3. Grambling, Jackson, Albany State. Now I know. Now I can name 3. Huh?
You don't know Morehouse?
That's HBCU?
Yes, brother. Come on, man.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, I didn't know. They not raw at sports.
Yeah, they're not.
I know they're focused on academics. Yeah, so they focus on academics. So I forgot. But yeah, man, like,
you got it.
Huh?
George Washington Carver also has a school.
Where's that at?
I believe it's in Alabama.
You just making up Black people?
No,
I know.
I'm serious. I got a lot of friends who went to HBCU. So,
bro, just because he made the peanut, bro, like that don't mean you can just give him a school.
The peanut, just so you know that, bro. I know that that's your biggest acknowledgement on it. But no, he's done way more than just make the peanut. He's an actual scientist, bro.
I know he's a scientist, bro. But I'm just saying, like,
bro, you think you a scientist, so how the hell you don't know that he a scientist?
Without Google, and tell me what he did besides find uses for the peanut.
Look, bro, let's keep moving on. We got
without Googling.
We got to limit the show.
See, that's the problem with our people. That's the problem with our people.
He made buttons.
That's the problem with our people. They go out here willy-nilly just saying stuff. If you ain't got 3 facts about something, don't claim it. You know what I mean? That's your problem. Now we don't even know if what you said was true at all. We have no idea now. See? You see how fast it happens? Life comes at you fast. You see what I mean? That's the problem. With fake scientists are trying to tell me who a real scientist is. I've been a real scientist for like the last like couple of years, and I'm not gonna tolerate the non-scientist disrespect. Speaking of, are you gonna Google it? All right, I see you Googling.
Go. Are you right?
I see you Googling
like a motherfucker.
I see you Googling. Right. I see your shoulder.
And this is the part of the school system. It ain't my fault. should have been teaching me this shit, so then I wouldn't have to do this. They should have been like, instead of every time February comes around, and shout out February, we're nearly approaching. So when February comes around, did y'all know George Washington Carver, that peanut butter and jelly sandwich you eating, that's George Washington Carver.
I mean, I low key blame you. I blame you because like you just got your degree and you went to school during the BLM movement. So you should know about these particular scientists. You low key failing the culture in a way, honestly. Like if I'm keeping it 100. But speaking of failures,
the culture.
Speaking of failures, some school administrators failed to properly background check a student that registered for high school. Turns out a 29-year-old was arrested for posing as a high school freshman. This was in northern New Jersey. She used a forged birth certificate to enroll into a local high school, and she was posing as a freshman. Now, here's...
Go ahead, because
I think now I understand why she would think posing as a freshman would be a good idea. I understand because like the sophomores and the juniors and the seniors, they wouldn't even know who most of the freshmen is. Let's say that. And all the freshmen come from different places depending on how big the school is. So I get that. However, it's a bad idea because all those freshmen was eighth graders somewhere.
Right.
Let's say there's 5 groups of freshmen that don't know each other. Within those 5 groups, they gonna figure out that you ain't who you're supposed to be. You should have came in as a junior. That's where you should have came in. They should have came in as a junior with a weird transfer story. Like, oh, I'm from whatchamacallit. Because if you pop in as a freshman, people gonna have a whole bunch of questions. You pop in as a junior, and the thing is, miss, disrespectfully, your ass is 29 years old. So if you a junior, you could say you 16, you could say you 17, depending on what type of weed you was smoking when you was the 5th grade. You could say you 18 as a junior. It depends, right? But you not 13 or 14 or 15. That ain't gonna work. You 29. So I can't find out why she did it. No one has explained why she did it. But Dale, let me ask you a question. Who did the administration fail, or are they just busy?
They failed. But I could tell you, I'm gonna just keep that simple. I could tell you why she did this shit though.
Why
she thought that being a freshman was okay. It's television. Television alludes to, if you look at television, whenever you look at a high school movie, anything that's high school, they already look hella old. Motherfuckers will be looking hella old in high school. Motherfuckers be looking like 40 in high school. They be having fucking Tom Cruise posing as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? This nigga. So yeah, it's my first year in high school. Like, you got a whole beard. Like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Like, I'm just saying. But so I do think that that's probably why she thought, oh, I was a freshman. You know what I'm saying? I look younger than them. I'm Asian. And you know what I mean? Like, we don't age. We don't age as fast as other ethnicities. So it's like, oh, I might still look young. I look 16. I'm gonna put the scarf around my neck. As long as I look like I'm 13, come in. I'm petite, so I can go in. They're gonna think I'm that young. And 13, you can kind of be quiet. I mean, if you're a freshman, you can kind of be quiet because it's like, oh, she's just weird. Like, she don't talk to nobody. She's just about her education. And maybe she just wanted to get her full 4 years in. But this is the fault of the administration. This is the fault of the administration because you gotta do your due diligence, bro. That just goes to show, like, if you're really trying to teach us how it is to be able to get ready for the job, work life, and things like that, there's extensive backgrounds that go on with shit like this. So if you want to do a background check, start the shit at school. Y'all damn near already do, So I think that they should have been able to say, where's your school records? Like, how did she documentate her school records? I mean, it is more to find out about the story.
She had a forged birth certificate.
Yeah, forged birth certificate. But I'm saying, don't you, like, when you go into high school, don't you have to, like, bring, like, transcripts?
I think maybe that's why she decided to do the freshman thing.
Yeah, that's probably why. So that's what I was thinking. Like, maybe she had to do the freshman thing because she didn't have transcripts enough to be like, Phil, just started and I'm from...
That's lazy, though.
It is. It is. I just want to know, like, why she just couldn't. What was the purpose of going back to school? There's so many adult things that you go to school for. It's because you just wanted, like, no, for real. Like, you could easily just went and just did like night school as an adult. Like, you wanted, like, it's almost creepy. And I think if it was a man, if this was a man that did this shit, a lot of other things would have start to speculate. He probably was in there trying to get at young women. He was doing this. He was doing that. Like, all of a sudden, he R. Kelly. He had a chain of women down in the locker down there shaking butt and peeing on them. Like, what? Like, all these deranged stories will come out. But I think because it is a female, they're like, it's okay. Like, she was just in there trying to get an education and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, no, bro, this is wrong. This is extremely wrong. Some of the kids were in there like, yo, I was creeped out when I found out. I didn't even know why. And the first thing I seen the kids, I don't know why the hell she approached as a freshman. She was not like a freshman. Like, this is really some 21 Jump Street type shit. I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping this is some 21 Jump Street type shit where maybe she got caught, but she was really looking for the drugs in the school. Now,
I think you make a good point regarding like, this is just one of those things where I will admit that women don't have a lot of privileges as compared to men. Like, socially, there's certain things where men get preferential treatment. Honestly, like weirdo situations when women end up in these situations, you always go mental issue. Always. You go mental issue, you go damage, you go abuse, you go loneliness, you go everything. If she would have like let 10 kids run train on her, she mental issues, right? But if this was a dude, if this was a guy, he smashed 10 of them.
It's terrible. He's in a cult.
Like, if a dude forged his birth certificate, a 29-year-old man, to be a freshman and not play no sports, like not even play no sports, he just there, like,
yeah, here
you're going to jail. Like, you're going to jail for
prison. Let's be correct.
You're going to they're gonna find a way to say that it was assault. Like, because for her, it's like they arrest her for like forgery of documents because there's no law against like being in school. There's no law against faking going back to high school. It's just forgery of documents, right? If it was a dude, they would have like interviewed people to be like, yo, so like, did he talk to you, Sarah? Like, did he bump elbows with you? If he bumped elbows with you, we could put him in prison for assault. Like, they would try to find a way for this to be like, they would find a way for him to never do this again.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't even be a girl. They're trying to get boys. Like, were you in the locker room with him? Did he show you his penis? Like, well, I mean, we were playing swords and, you know, what? Like, it'll go crazy, bro. I'm telling you right now. Like, he was on it. Like, we were in.
That's how they would interrogate the kids. Like, were you in the locker room with him? Did he show you his penis? They would just ask. They would ask 1,000 boys that. Like, all right, next. We in the locker room with him. Did he show you his penis? No. Damn it. We gotta eat. They just keep asking.
We gotta get that. That's the only way we're gonna be able to get this nasty motherfucker down. Like, and then that's how they would use that. Nasty motherfucker. For her, they like, oh, lost girl. She's just trying to get her education.
Lost girl.
Like, I don't understand why she couldn't just go to regular adult night school, but fine. Like, she really, and the thing about this is dedication.
That
like,
is dedication.
Get up and be like, really, because I wish a motherfucker would tell me. I mean, as much as I would love to say, yeah, I wish I could relive some high school years, you know, to kind of like, yeah, of course, everybody thinks about it every now and then, like, oh, I could relive some high school years as a 17-year-old. But damn, if I think about getting up in the morning, taking that fucking journey to get to school, happen to be somewhere, and then and I'm 29 years old, get talked crazy to by some other fucking adults. Like, motherfucker, shut up. And you know that now as an adult, you would know off back, like, you ain't shit, Mr. Birkin. I know your ass don't know nothing. You know what? I know you drive a fucking pinto because at high school, you looking like, oh, maybe he got a good life. He got a good wife. You don't even know that motherfuckers in school don't make no damn money at that time. So it's like, I can imagine now at 29 years old, you already know school system, these teachers ain't getting paid shit. You already know that their life is probably out there drinking and doing shit. Matter of fact, you probably going to the same bar as, like, I gotta be cool. There's my teacher. Like, what the fuck? Like, that shit sounds crazy to me to do that shit. That really sounds hella lunatic. Like, because if it was only, and that's what I really want to hear is her case on this. Like, oh, I really just wanted to get my education. I think that's what they're going to try to push to make it sound so sorrow. And like, oh, she just needed to get her education. She was international student. She didn't understand the and maybe it was some finesse. Like maybe it was some shit where she's like, yo, I had to show that I went to school. I don't even know. I don't even know how this stupid make tape. But
don't they have GED? Like she's gonna do 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. You were gonna do 4 years. So you were gonna be like 32 when you graduated? Like 32. No, you were 33 years old when you graduated.
It's never too late.
It's gonna be 33 when you graduated, throwing your tassel to the side. Like that shit looks wild as fuck, B. Like that shit looks wild. That shit looks wild. And she needs to be, y'all more on this fucking Marcus Stokes shit. Y'all need to be on this shit. Y'all need to be on this shit. This shit's way worse than Marcus Stokes. And I'm being that as a black man saying, him saying the word nigga in a rap song is not as bad as this woman pretending to be a high school student. This is really some motherfucking parasite shit. Some parasite.
It's wild, bro. I think that's what I mean. But because she's a woman, because she's a woman, and she's Asian, and it's New Jersey.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone cares.
Jersey.
If it was San Diego, and he was a man.
Oh yeah, he going down. Rape. 14 counts.
It would be 3 counts. He ain't even did nothing yet. 3 counts. I heard that. Man, look, let me. But so this weekend we have the NFC and AFC Championship. We have the San Francisco 49ers against Philadelphia Eagles. We also have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Patrick Mahomeses of Kansas City.
They logo it. Curly hair, light skin.
They just all dressed like, just look like him. They just him just wandering about. They all just yellow with curly hair. The whole team.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So where we're at with this is, before I get into the 49ers, Joe Burrow has defeated Patrick Mahomes the last 3 times they played.
Yeah.
So Cincinnati mayor went on social media and basically was like, we want Joe Burrow to take a paternity test and find out if he's Patrick Mahomes' father, which is like high level disrespect. It's high level disrespect, and I'm out. And this is what I want to know. I want to ask this. I want to ask you this. Do we like playoff smoke? Do we like playoff and do we like professional sports smoke perpetuated by our politicians?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna be real with you. I remember it was a few years back. The Saints and the Niners have played, and we did like a little small, oh, if the Saints win, we'll give them our best seafood restaurant. They'll make a meal for the mayor or some shit like that. And it was the opposite way for New Orleans. I mean, we ended up winning, I think, and it was a great game. I think the mayor got some stuff. And even then I was like, man, this hella soft. I don't want to hear about these niggas exchanging food, right? But to hear a mayor get on there and to me, it shows, because football is like that. Football is like, yo, you repping for the state, you repping for the city, you repping for everything, you know what I'm saying? People are so embedded into their football team. It's like soccer, where we have so much passion for them. You know what I'm saying? When they win or when they lose, it hurts everyone. I did a whole paper on this about the culture of sports when I was in school. And one thing I really learned is your culture affects a lot about where you're from. You start to really have these things of the heritage of that. And being from the Bay, being from somewhere, Northern California, where the San Francisco 49ers have a huge stake out here of fans. you know, you know, like it's almost rare you didn't see someone with an 80 with an 80 Jerry Rice jersey. You know what I'm saying? It was a rare. I mean, through the 90s, everyone, I don't give a fuck. Everyone had a Raiders 90s jersey or at least a Steve Young jersey, something that represented their team. And I think that to see your mayor come out and be like, yeah, man, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, talk his shit. I think it's cool. I think this is the reasons why why not we, but these are the reasons why Trumps are so like a Trump is so publicized is because he's willing to get out there and address situations like this. And I think this is how a mayor from Cincinnati, Mayor Prevail, may actually escalate his career to be somebody else a little further up from being a mayor of Cincinnati down the line. Because they're going to recall this. And especially if they win. If they win, and it's like, oh, you really went 4-0 on Pat Mahomes, because Pat Mahomes is that GOAT right now. Pat Mahomes is the Steph Curry of fucking football. Everyone loves him. There's rare people that hate him, and then the people who do hate him, like they kind of be like, I just don't like that nigga because like he do everything right. Like they try to find anything that anything wrong. That nigga like race cars. I don't like niggas who like race cars. That nigga bought the Kansas City Royal. I don't even like baseball. Like niggas just trying to figure out shit to hate that fool for. But like there's a lot of stuff, so it's cool. So I think to hear that he's getting walked on by Joe motherfucking Barrow, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's dope. Cincinnati ain't won no championship. They're probably one of the most newest teams. They are the newest team in the NFL. Am I correct? They're the newest. They've been around for years. They've always been around.
They've been around since the 80s.
80s, but I'm saying like, aren't they part of like the they're not like a Green Bay Packer, you know what I mean? Like they're not like
they're not like one of the original 5 teams.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. They don't have that original. So they've never won a championship there. For them to come out and be like, yo, we got to start a quarterback. And it feel good about your quarterback, feel good about your squad, and your team can get behind you. That does bring a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, if Libby, I know she's not the mayor of Oakland anymore, but let's just say, for example, Libby came on and was like, the Raiders about to give him that smoke. You know what I mean? Like, we'd be okay with that. All Oakland would turn up like, yeah, Libby, we a voter back in and shit. Like, but I'm saying like, that's the kind of shit that turns up your fans, shows people up to get to the game. This is the way that you sell tickets, because now you get people to be like, yo, I'm going to go to the game because even the mayor's saying we're going to turn up smoke up on his ass. And you bring in, and because now, I'm not even going to lie to you, Joe Barrow came in, because it's the kid from LSU, right? So this is the one, he went to LSU, came in, he was hella raw last year, did his thing, showed everybody that he deserves this position where he's at. And then now to say that you're going up for probably one of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Someone who is, every skill set that you want for a quarterback, Pat Mahomes has that shit. So to see that happen and for your mayor to come out and say, yeah, we're going to dog walk this man. We about to make this man dog water. You feel me? We want to get a paternity test to find out if, you know what I'm saying, if Joe Barrow ain't the father. Like, that's hilarious. That brings, now what you're doing is you're starting to rival. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to rival. You're starting something that now can say, yeah, okay, let's get Pat Mahomes mad. Let's get Joe Barrow cranked up. However, the only thing I will say is don't test the water too much, because this is the type of shit. Oh, you think that I'm his son? Let me show you how much of a daddy I am in this fool. And then Pat Mahomes come out there and start doing daddy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Start patting him on his helmet before he go off to the field type shit. I don't know. It might get disrespectful. So I love it though. This is what football is about. We look for this shit. I'm tired of all these friendly shit, nigga players out there shaking hands. They shaking hands with other teammates and shit. Like, it's good to see you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all that. No, y'all opposite teams, y'all opposite gangs, Bloods and Crips. Get out there and kill each other.
I like when the politicians come out and they have the smoke. When I say like figurative smoke, I don't mean, because there's a bunch. Obviously, you got Gavin Newsom will be like, yeah, go Niners. Like, I don't want to hear that. I think when it comes to politics and it comes to politics, like, politicians should rock with their sport teams the same way they rock with their side of the aisle, right? It's like if you pro-life and you never ever pro-choice, then pro-life gang ain't no in between. Like, yeah, go, but I hope everyone has a good time. Nah, I don't want to hear London Breed the mayor of San Francisco be like, I hope everyone has a good time. Go Niners. No, I want to hear her be like, we're going to dog walk the Eagles. I want you to say it with your chest. Because
we gonna make Philly steaks out of the Eagles right now.
Because we gonna make Philly cheesesteaks out of them. I like the commitment, and that's a good point when you say that people that's why people rock with Trumps, and that's why people rock with like the Skip Baylesses, because they stand 11 toes down on their decision, and it's cool. Like and so what if you say something then we lose? It's only entertainment anyway. With that, I want to ask you this question. I want to ask you this. I want to ask the rest of the Niner fans this, bro. We play the Eagles today. And we have our tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got Brock, as they call him, Brocky Balboa, right?
Brocky Balboa, come on, man.
So my question to you is this, man, like, I'm gonna ask you and other Niner fans, like, are we ready to go to the Super Bowl?
Yes, we're ready to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna be 100% with you. I think it's not even, I know we have a lot at stake with Purdy. But let's be real, man. Fred Warner, shout out Big Fred 5-0, man. I fuck with you tough, boy. You out there doing your thing. You got the defense looking really, really right out there. And I think we're ready, man. I think we showed that by just dog walking. We didn't dog walk, but just beating the Cowboys last week, man. I think it shows we are ready for a Super Bowl, and I think we're ready for a Super Bowl win this year. And I know you yourself, you're one of those, you have this thing to say, I don't want to get excited about getting to a Super Bowl and just to lose again. That's been one of your biggest pushes right there. But I think this year, man, I honestly think that we're on the Super Bowl championship level, and I think we're ready.
All right. Who do you want to play? So my question is, who are you rooting for tomorrow between the Chiefs and the Bengals? You got to choose one. What we do know is that both these teams, the last time they were in the chip, they lost the chip. Mahomes lost to Tom Brady. Joe Burrow lost to Matt Stafford and them in LA last year. So they both got, the metaphorical monkey on their back. Like, they both looking for a W, and they both been there before. My question to you is, like, who would you prefer to play, man?
Preferably, I would prefer to play against Pat Mahomes.
Why?
Yeah, I know that's a tosser, because here's the thing. We win against Pat Mahomes. It immediately solidifies the Niners. It immediately shows that all of these years of making it to Super Bowl, these years of getting to these playoff runs were meant for something. It's kind of like the Warriors getting to the championship to finally have to face LeBron. You have to face the best, especially when you've already came through so many hurdles to finally get up here and finally get a chance to win. And for our third street quarterback to be probably the number one quarterback in the fucking league right now will be tremendous for us. It will be tremendous for the city. It will be tremendous for the state of California, to be honest with you. So I think we need to beat him. And here's the thing. If we lose, it's not that bad. I'm not saying it wouldn't be. It's kind of the same with Joe Burrow as well. But think about it. If we lose, they'd be like, man, them niggas got to the Super Bowl. Like, all of that, even like for you, they'd be like, man, like, they did their thing against Pat Mahomes. That's Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I don't move in that way. That's why I asked if you're ready. I don't move I'm not a Raider fan. I'm not a good thing we went. Nah, nigga. I know it was against Patrick Mahomes. You know what's gonna happen? Kansas City, Missouri, their governor gonna be like, hey, we want to check a paternity test and find out if Patrick Mahomes is San Francisco's daddy, because it'll be our second time we lose in the Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes if we play them.
We gotta beat them. But that's why we gotta play them, and that's why we gotta beat them. Because you're right. That was my other point. It's our second time playing them. And the last time we went there with Garoppolo. You feel me? We went there with Garoppolo, at this time, we already had Garoppolo at this. People had Garoppolo, not you and I, because we were always been like, man, it's pretty motherfucker. I never liked pretty motherfuckers. But we wasn't really all that hyped about it. However, with Brock, I do feel like Brock can give a little shake and wiggle. And I really think, like I said, I'm not putting so much pressure on Brock. I'm putting pressure on the defense, because our defense is outstanding. You see how many picks we got on Dak? And just to come out week after week and just start dog walking these niggas, like, come out here. Let's say this, right? We dog walk Philly. I ain't gonna say we're gonna dog walk them, but I'm just saying we beat Philly to get to the bowl, right? And then we get up there and beat them. Like, that's incredible. That looks magnificent, bro. Like that's what my goal is to win. It's not to be like, oh well, if we win, but I'm just saying. Also, as a backup plan, if it does come, and it's like I'm not saying that that's what I'm gonna be throwing the fans. Like, I ain't gonna be a Raider fan. Like, well, at least we got here. I'm not gonna be in that. I mean, of course, I'm gonna be sad that we lost, but at the same time, I'm like, to soothe me, I'm like, yo, we can prep for next year though. I feel good about this. You know what I mean? Like, I would feel a little bit better. And I think that we have to go against Pat Mahomes. We got to go against him. We got to beat them because that's the only way. That's the only way we redeem ourselves for all of these failed attempts at getting to the Super Bowl.
What?
Gotta beat Pat Mahomes.
No, you know that. Hey, that's cool. I'm glad that you have that spirit. I hear that a lot when people say like, "This team got to play this team to show they're the best," and it's to me. That sounds like more or less like it sounds like a boxing mentality to me. Like there's certain ways where it's like people won't say Floyd is the GOAT because they got to a point where he should have fought Manny Pacquiao earlier. So if the best got to play the best, but bro, like winning a Super Bowl is hard.
Yes.
Like it's hard. Like I don't really know. And congratulations on your courageousness. I don't know any of the Niner fans that's gonna be like, damn, well, I wish we could have beat Patrick Mahomes instead of beating the Bengals because then we would have really shown that how tough we was. Nah, like, I don't care who we beat. Like, I just want to win this. We could beat Manteca High in the Super Bowl. Whoever made it from the AFC, they was the best in the AFC. I don't want to hear about how, because this is what pride does and all this, like, this is what pride does to you. This is what happens. This is what happens when niggas get too, like, it's got to be the best of the best and organic and shit, right? Peep this. There was a time where the Niners could have got Peyton Manning, and I was like, nah, I don't want to stick with who we got. Like, I don't really want him to come over here and just do it. We got to win it. We got to win it with Colin because we got to win it that way so we can show how tough we are. We can win it and show how tough. And then we didn't win it with Colin, and Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, went to back-to-back Super Bowls, and we won one of them. And then I felt stupid. So that's why when the Warriors got Kevin Durant, I was like, I don't care, nigga. We can get the rawest niggas ever. I want to win now. I'm about winning. I'm about the way I see it is this. There's a whole bunch of options out here on the shelves, and all these options that you can get, everyone has options to them. And then some things are going to be competitive advantages that you get to select. And some things are competitive advantages that the universe selects for you. So if the universe selects for us to play the Bengals, who just lost the Super Bowl last year, then so be it. I also believe that if Patrick Mahomes show up and play us again, it's going to be like this low-key, like chip on his shoulder, because he's been to 2 Super Bowls already and he's won one. He's a better quarterback, I believe, than Burrow is. You said something earlier which scares me, which has always bothered me about Niner quarterbacks. So the last couple is that when you said I'm not putting the pressure on Brock, I'm putting the pressure on the defense. That's the whole problem. And that's how we had to move with Jimmy. That's how I had to move with Alex Smith, where I got the diehard Niner fans. It's like, nah, well, if the defense would have did this, one dude dropped the ball. I'm like, bro, that's the one deep pass Alex Smith threw. Yo, well, he got to catch that one. Oh, that's the one deep pass Jimmy's threw. Well, he got to catch that one. You know Jimmy going to throw one of them eventually. He going to throw one of them eventually? Defense tired as hell. Like, so I'm hoping, this is where I'm at, to answer my own question. I'm pulling for
the Bengals. Obviously, we hear it. Go ahead, just say it.
I'm pulling. Here's the thing, though. It's a specific victory.
You got.
I'm pulling for a really tight. Like I'm pulling for like a really tight Bengals victory, a really tight one. Not a dog walking. If it's a dog walking, they're gonna take halftime off and start prepping already, taking starters out so can't nobody get hurt. I want like even though they get 2 weeks off before Super Bowl, because they're gonna play today and they're gonna play again for 2 weeks. I want them to have like a dog fight with them so they can be like a little beat up and gotta think about it. I don't want a dog walk. I want a really tight Bengals victory. That's what I would prefer. So that's the picks, man. We're gonna see how it goes. All that said, the Niners also have to win, obviously, which they should. But to Dale's point, Dale is on me and Dale move a little bit differently. As I would say, Hov said, moral victories are for minor league coaches. But Dale out here all about the moral victories. So for those y'all that rock with the did a good job, y'all could be Team Dale. I'm here for a W. It's just different.
I said I'm here for a W. I didn't say nothing. You trying to see? This is the thing. Here's the thing. You see how your man will do me. You see how he just did me. He asked me a question. He almost in week after week we hear this. If I would have gave the same answer he gave, this mediocre ass on the fence answer, like, well, I'm just saying that I want the Cincinnati and all the shit he just said, right?
What's on the fence about that?
Stop. And then he was like, and then what he would do is he'll say, bro, you gotta do the fence, right? You gotta stand down and tell them exactly what you want. And that's what I did, because that's what I thought. I was on my fence to say, I really wanted to be like, I don't care who wins, long as we win. But then you tried to make, so I was really doing a favor for the fans. And you know how you did me? You let me answer first, so then you could come and give this half-ass answer instead of saying, you know what? I vote we dog walk Pat Mahomes and them, or dog walk Joe Burrow and them, so that way we become champions. Well, you got to give this explanation. Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, because of the quarterbacks, Alex Smith and Kaepernick, bringing up all this old shit. Who do you want to win? And are we winning the championship? That's it. Are we winning? Yes or no? Are we Super Bowl champions this year, Ryan?
Are we gonna beat the Eagles? Yeah, we're gonna beat the Eagles.
Are we Super Bowl champions this year, 2023?
If we play the Bengals, yeah.
Okay. So you basically saying we can't fuck with Pat Mahomes and them.
I'm saying if we play the Bengals.
So you saying we can't fuck with Pat Mahomes and them.
That's not what I'm saying.
See?
Say
what you gonna say.
Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. It's very divisive of you to say, oh, so you saying. I'm gonna give anyone some game right that's listening. Communication 101. No, it's communication 105. If you say something to somebody and they say, so you saying, the trick is just repeat what you said. They're trying to trick you into saying some shit you didn't say. All I'm saying is, if we play the Bengals, we gonna win the chip. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at with it.
I got you.
That's where I'm at.
It's funny
all I know is this. You said that if they make it and they lose to Patrick Mahomes, at least they could be like, damn, they did their thing. That's a moral victory.
I said that. See how this is how they try to do you. This is how they try to do you.
Is that what you said?
I did in a brief statement, but that was not the mass of my conversation of what I said.
Of course it wasn't.
The piece of salt that was in my he took out the piece of salt that was in my pepper.
It doesn't need any context.
One piece of salt, like, oh, you see this salt make you had in there? Like, I just want to focus on this one. I saw you.
It doesn't need any context. It doesn't need any context.
This one piece of salt that you had on there. I'm going to continue to focus on this.
Okay, fine. Is it salt though? Is it salt? Like with your metaphor, is it salt? The thing you're grabbing, is it salt?
Yeah, salt.
Okay, there. That's what I'm saying. Listen, man, I want y'all to do one thing for me. We bringing this back because fucking about that time, he too busy filming videos, doing interviews, graduating school, being a dad, getting his hair done every 7 days. So I got to give y'all some fire. About that time, he taking a break. I need y'all to hop on the YouTube and listen to Sue Surf freestyles on Bars I-95.
Sue Surf is out? Sue Surf
No, he's hemmed up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever coming out. But it's a real fire freestyle. I think it'll give you. This isn't like a jail freestyle. He's not in jail singing it. He's the one. He's on bars. He's on Bars 95. It's a fire freestyle. And when I used to listen to his music when he was out, I could hear like the amount of strife and resilience and pain in his voice that made it sound like he was never leaving the streets, no matter how much he talked about leaving the streets.
Jersey.
But when you listen to this song, it's a really fire freestyle. It's Sue Surf freestyles on Bars I-95. Bro goes in for 10 minutes. And it's not like, and when I say 10 minutes, it's not respectfully. It's not like a Cassidy, like, we're going to do like these bars and all these like interesting metaphors and you get kind of like just barred down to death and you get bored. And it's not like the 7 minutes that Tory did where it's so prolific and luxurious where you're like, this rides, but I'm almost tired of this. What I'll say about this song, there's a lot of emotion in it. I would say like a 10-minute Cassidy freestyle and this 8-minute Tory freestyle, there's a lot of excitement, but this has a lot of emotion. And that emotion is like deep reverence and respect. And it's very clear. Check it out. Sue Surf freestyles on Bars I-95. Per usual, you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you here with us. And we appreciate that. And moral victories are for minor league coaches.
Hey man, if you made it this far, just know we here at the Devil Runner Report really fuck with you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and definitely comment. Let us know any particular part of this segment that stuck out to you. We want to definitely hear your thoughts in the comments.